Hello kids, and welcome to a very quick review of your MC Test Semestral Assessment 2, where I will be working through the paper together with you and showing you how I would annotate and how I would mark up my work so that I can check my answers to make sure that they're as close to correct as possible. I invite all of you to review this paper together with me after you've finished it, all right? So please watch this video only after you've finished your paper and use this video sort of as a revision to remind you of what you need to annotate and track for each section so as to reduce the number of careless mistakes and also to boost the chances that you will select the best possible answer for each section. All right. So I'm looking at the semestral assessment paper 2 from your MC test book that you brought back with you for your homework over the weekend. I trust that by now all of you have finished this paper. The duration is 1 hour and 50 minutes. So I hope that you've managed to finish the paper within this time limit. And remember, I always recommend that you start with booklet B, right? And after you finish booklet B, where you use up your energy and you're at your freshest and you are confronting the more difficult questions, then you can progress on to booklet A, right? And after you finish booklet A, you should give yourself a buffer of at least 15 to 20 minutes in order to check your work, review that you've done everything. Do not leave any questions blank. Always fill them up with an answer of some sort. You never know, you might actually get it right, but a blank is most definitely not going to score you any marks. All right, so go through in the last 15-20 minutes to check that you've done everything you need to do. Okay, so without further ado, let's get on with annotating and answering these questions. All right, so the first question, we, right, give ourselves, right? Because this is a pronoun that refers to we, all right? So this is a reflexive pronoun that refers to we. Why is it called reflexive? Because it reflects on the we, right? Next, if I win, so again here, if I win, this is a future hypothetical situation that has not yet happened, right? So if I win, I will take my parents out for a feast, all right? So this is a future hypothetical, therefore I will use the future tense, all right? I will take my parents out for a feast, okay, which is the right thing to do. If you are winning a prize, always express your thanks to your parents, all right? So while, next one, while Ken, he felt a mosquito bite. So this is in the past, all right? And if this is 1, then this should be 2. Remember your verb pattern, right? 1 to 2, 2 to 3, right? 3 to 4, okay? So remember your verb patterning. So this is the 1 to 2 verb patterning. So if this is 1, then this got to be 2, and this is past tense. I'm going to remove all my present tense, okay? In this case is eating. So while means that there is a process, right? Therefore, it's ing, right? So I don't need to consider had eaten. It's a process. It was going on while Ken was or were eating, and this is my subject-verb agreement rule. 1 puts S after the verb. So this is the answer. This is not. Therefore, the answer is number 3. Okay, once again, notice that I'm applying my grammar rules and I'm checking my answer so that I do not make any careless mistakes, all right? Next, question number 4, bullies, all right? This is plural, many, right? Okay, who have experienced. So this is the present. And if it's plural and present, then it's got to be are. It cannot be any of the others, right? So plural plus present gives me are. Bullies are often people who have experienced some form of bullying in their own lives, all right? Next, question number 5. Make a habit of arriving late for work, right? He reprimanded, okay? So he is scolding, right? And he's enforcing a value of punctuality. Therefore, you should not make a habit of arriving late for work. Now, in this case, should is prescribing a specific course of action, right? You should not do this, you should do that, right? So I'm prescribing a course of action, right? So by the way, please mirror all of these highlights onto your work so that you are able to follow through the process together with me, all right? So if you have not done so yet, you can pause the video and annotate along with me. And you can always scrub back to the beginning of the video just to make sure that whatever I've annotated earlier, you have transferred onto your own paper as well. I will check it when I receive your papers on Monday, all right? So please remember to mirror what you see me annotate on your paper as well. I will be checking on Monday, right? So question number 6, the instructor welcomed the students into the classroom and told them to sit, right? So they wanted to, so they were given a choice, right? In other words, they could sit anywhere that they wanted to, right? Anywhere gives me multiple choices, right? So the others don't make any sense, right? They can't fit. Next, question number 7, I am not free Saturday evening. So this is a time, therefore the preposition to link not free to Saturday evening is on Saturday evening, right? So because on is used for a specific day or date, okay? And in is used for a non-specific period. For example, in May, right? We are in the month of May, right? But my birthday is on 1st May, right? So if I'm talking about a specific day, it's on. If I'm talking about a non-specific period of time, it's in, all right? So therefore the answer is clearly on, right? At is definitely not. By is definitely not. By is a limit to the time. At is a location, right? So question number 8, Kylie loves cooking, right? Therefore, it came as no surprise when she said that she aspired to be a chef when she grew up. So loves cooking came as no surprise. So one thing leads to another, right? So it came as no surprise because the two are linked and they are related in a positive manner, right? So because Kylie loves cooking, therefore she became or she aspires to become a chef, right? Question number 9, I wish I had what courage? Okay, I would dare to enter the dark cave. So I wish, meaning that he does not have enough courage. So he wishes for more courage, right? I wish I had more courage. Comparing between before and after, right? Before the wish and after the wish. Therefore, the answer is I wish I had more courage so that I would dare to enter the cave. Question number 10. Okay, answer is don't you know that stealing is wrong, right? Why is it don't? Because stealing, knowing, is an action that you do, right? Do you know? Don't you know, right? So do and don't reflect actions, right? In this case, knowing that stealing is wrong is an action. So don't you know that stealing is wrong, right? Next, let's move on. Okay, so at this point in time, you have completed the first 10 questions of grammar. Please check that you have tabulated your score. So I'm just going to go ahead and give myself 10, right? Because I'm that confident, right, that I got the answers. So please check against my answers and against my annotations. And remember, mirror all the annotations on your paper as well. All right, let's go on now to our vocabulary MCQ, right? So it is an anti-bullying campaign that is launched in school next year, right? So the clue here is something that is launched and something that contains a message, all right? Or a kind of movement, right? In this case, the message or the movement is anti-bullying, and the fact that it's launched makes it a campaign, all right? If you're not sure about any of the other words, please let me know and I'll try to explain these other words to you, all right? But I'm just going to focus on the answers and how I arrived at them. Okay, so homing pigeons right? If you know what homing pigeons are, they are pigeons that are trained to return to the place where they are released after they have delivered specific messages or small parcels, all right? So homing pigeons are specially trained in order to do that, right? So the answer is trained. Now, why is it trained? Because animals are trained, right? Humans are educated, right? And then, of course, they are not produced, nor are they cultivated, because what they are being taught is a special skill. So it's not produced and it's not cultivated, it's trained into them, right? Okay, let me just remove this highlight. So the answer is trained. Number 13, this is the what horn of the robber, William Pike. Okay, so he is said to have blown it every time he robbed a rich man. So this is the legendary. Why? Because he is said to have, right? So he's believed to have blown it. In other words, it's not factually confirmed. It's not historically proven, but it is believed that he blew it every time he robbed a rich man. So it's legendary, right? It's something that we believe happened, right? But it may or may not have been historically true. Okay, so that's legendary. It can't be imaginary because it's an actual horn. It's not traditional because it's not something that's passed down and done again and again. And of course, epic means very exciting, so that doesn't really apply in this case. Okay, question number 14. We have hired a good, so this is a collective noun that describes musicians, right? So you usually talk about musicians as a band of musicians, all right? A choir is singing, a crew is sailing, and a set is non-living things, right? Objects that are together, that belong together, okay? So next one, question 15. Amy and Joe were very disappointed when their plans to adopt a child fell through, okay? So the answer is fell through, because fell through means failed, okay? And this is a phrasal verb, of course, all right? And fell through, in this case, doesn't literally mean that something falls through a hole, but fell through means their plans or their actions or purposes failed to bear fruit or failed to accomplish what they intended for it to. Okay, so that's question 15. Right, so at this stage, please check that you have correctly marked, annotated, and totaled your score at the bottom over here. I'm going to go ahead and give myself a 5 because I'm that confident that I got the answers correct as well. All right, so that's questions 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 done. All right, let's go on to vocabulary close. And remember, for this section, we want to write the word on top of the underlined words, right? So that we can check how it reads in a sentence, right? And we are able to double check that it makes sense after we choose the correct answer. So prevalent. Have you heard of digital shoplifting? It refers to the act of taking pictures of articles in magazines with a mobile phone. It has become a prevalent practice. So prevalent practice, that means we can see it happening all over the place. A lot of people are doing it. So it has become a very common practice, right? It has become a common practice in the world today. So I'm going to write the word common there. And then I read the sentence. It has become common practice today. It makes sense. It carries the meaning that I believe the passage is trying to convey, right? Next one, question 17. He can read the articles later at his leisure. So at his own time, he is able to choose to read. So in his free time, all right? So again, he's able to read it in his free time, at his own leisure, right? Refers to in his free time. He's not rushed. He's able to read the article whenever he wants to, right? Next one, this explains why many bookshop owners are up in arms, right? Up in arms, right? They are extremely angry about, right? They are upset about it, and therefore they are protesting against, okay? So they're up in arms, meaning they're protesting against. So again, I want to make a habit of writing the word in the sentence and reading the sentence so that it makes sense. So this explains why many bookshop owners are protesting against this form of digital shoplifting, right? So I'm sorry, I didn't write the answer earlier. Free time and protesting against, okay? So they are very, very resistant to, they are against it, so they're protesting, right? Therefore, it is up in arms, right? They are unhappy and they are taking action or speaking out against. Next, it is not easy to curb, right? Curb this new form of shoplifting. So this has to do with stopping it, curbing it. Curbing it means to stop it, right? To control it, right? So control means to stop it, right? Therefore, it's not easy to control such forms of, it's not easy to control this new form of shoplifting, not easy to stop it, right? And it is difficult to tell with certainty if someone is using his phone or taking a picture, right? So it is difficult to conclude. It's difficult to conclude, to kind of come to a judgment, right? Actually, in this case, conclude or determine, right, are both marginally acceptable. So then we want to look at the principle of best fit, because if I use determine and conclude, they both seem to work, right? So let's go and put them both here. So it's difficult to conclude, right? Or it's difficult to determine if someone is using his phone. So in this case, right, I'm trying to find out whether or determine whether the person is, can you hear that? Determine whether the person is sending a text message or taking a picture. And therefore, because of principle of best fit, between the two possible answers, determine is slightly more suitable because I'm trying to determine something, right? Conclude means at the end of the day, right? After everything is over, I draw a conclusion. But in this case, it's in the middle of the action and not at the end. So therefore, determine is the more valid answer. So I'm going to go ahead and remove 2 and 4 is going to be my answer. So please take a leaf out of my example. If you find that there are multiple words that seem to fit, write them side by side in the sentence like this, and then compare which one gives you a more accurate meaning or a more close to the passage meaning of the sentence after you fit in that word. All right, compare and contrast and then arrive at the correct answer. And I'm going to go ahead now and erase this because it looks very, very untidy. I'm just going to write 4 because I've determined that 4 is more suitable, okay, than 2. And therefore, I'm going to give myself an answer out of 5. And again, very confident my answers are correct. Okay, done. Right. So remember, at any point, if you find that I'm going too fast, you can pause the video and then you can go back to what I've just explained and you can listen to it again so that you understand why that particular answer is the way it is. And if after my explanation, you're still not sure, drop me a message and I'll try to explain to you why your answer is or is not acceptable. Okay, now let's move on. This is visual text. Okay, so for visual text, right, please be very, very careful. Don't rush through it and read what it is. So in this case, this is a workshop handout. Okay, so this entire thing is a handout given to participants of a workshop. And I can see immediately that this is about family, right? So this is about family, okay? Something about family, all right? And then it's about understanding your parents, okay? So it's about kids understanding their parents better, all right? Workshop program, there's registration, icebreaker, games taught by Dr. Ashley Ong, tea break, discussion groups, question and answer, okay? Many of you say that your parents do not understand you. In this case, you refers to teenagers or children, right? But have you ever asked yourself if you understand your parents? So this workshop is obviously targeted at teenagers and children, right? So this is a very important takeaway. This is meant for teenagers and children, not for their parents primarily, all right? Throughout this workshop, Dr. Ong will help you explain that mutual understanding is important in building a strong parent-child relationship. She will elaborate on 4 key areas. to help you better understand the adults in your life. So this is for students, parents, teenagers to understand adults, right? Okay, so key to understanding your parents are humans, right? Your parents encounter problems, right? Your parents love you, right? And your parents are happy if you show that you love them, all right? And there are some, of course, explanations and elaborations within each of these main keys, right? So these are the 4 keys, and of course, all of the elaboration there. And over here, right, there's something about Dr. Ashley Ong, is a child psychologist, right? Counseling families for 10 years, author of Building Bridges in a Family. If you want to speak with Dr. Ong, send her an email if you want to speak with her. And you want to find out more about the other workshops by Family Comes First, email them at info@fcf.com. All right, so I think I have a broad overview of the visual text. I kind of understand what it's about. So I'm now ready to answer the questions, okay? So again, like what I do, please skim through the text first before you read the questions, or you can skim through the text after you read the question. That's up to you, but make sure you do a quick skim and scan to get some rough ideas about what this text is all about, right? So now I go to the question. The main group of people who will find the workshop handout useful is, right, as we mentioned, this is targeted at children, right? So number 2, children, all right? They are the ones that need to understand their parents better, right? And we can find this over here, right? Many of you do not understand your parents, right? So this is question number 21, right? So I found the answer to question 21. I already highlighted it earlier. Very good. Question 22, in this workshop, children will learn that, okay, they should try to understand their parents too. That's true. Dr. Ong enjoys a good relationship with a child. No, that's not true. We don't know that. Building Bridges and Family can answer all their questions. No, that's not true either. Family should go for counseling to understand one another. No, that's not entirely true. That's not what this workshop is teaching the children about. This workshop is teaching the children that they should try to understand their parents, and they have the 4 keys, right, to help them understand the parents better. And again, over here, this is question 22. I've already highlighted the answer, all right? So hooray, answer is here, question 22. Therefore, I should try to understand the adults in my life or my parents better. Okay, question 23. In the section, your parents are humans too. Humans refer to people who, okay, so over here, your parents are humans too. They make mistakes as well. So this is the answer directly to question 23. Therefore, question 23, they make mistakes. Humans refer to people who make mistakes, right? Again, over here, your parents are humans too. They make mistakes, all right? Question 24, right? The word career in the section, your parents encounter problems too, right? So over here, your parents encounter problems too, right? They have worries about money, career, and getting along with other people, okay? So the word career here is a vocabulary word. You must know that it has to do with their work, right? It has to do with their work, right? So therefore, it's to do with work, right? Career is a vocabulary test. You must know what career means in this case. All right, question number 25. In the section, your parents love you, right? So in the section, your parents love you, it is implied, meaning not directly stated, but implied, indirectly stated, that children may expect all parents to. Okay, so let's see. Your parents love you, right? Over here, okay? So do not expect them to act or behave the way that other parents do. So this is the answer to question 25, right? Do not expect them to behave the same way. Sorry, just now was 24. I forgot to mark that out. Okay, so do not expect them to behave in the same way as the other parents in other families. So answer is question number 4, option number 4, obviously. All right, so at this point, we're almost through. Question 26, the word this in the section, your parents are happy if you show that you love them. refers to what with your parents? So over here, if something is upsetting you, talk to them. This shows that your parents value the relationship. So this refers to talking to your parents, right? 26, talk to them. That's the answer. Therefore, okay, your parents are happy if you show them that you love them refers to, this refers to sharing your feelings, right? Talking to them, sharing your feelings with them, right? So talk to them, right? Share your feelings with them. Okay, question 27. Which of the following information about Dr. Ong is not stated in the workshop handout? Okay, not stated. So Dr. Ong is a child psychologist. She's counseling. She's an author, right? Okay, let's see. Okay, so she is a counselor because she's counseling. She is a child psychologist and she's an author or writer. Therefore, she is a mother, is not stated. Okay, not stated in the workshop handout. She is not stated as being a mother. Okay, finally, family comes first is the name of the group of people who, right, so they are the people over here. Okay. Okay, they are the people who organize the workshops, right? Okay, so they are the workshop organizers. Over here, it says organized by family first. So this is question 28. Therefore, they are the organizers of the workshops. All right, at this point in time, I'm going to let you check that you have highlighted and annotated every section of the visual text just to make sure that you have tracked what I have done. And please check your answers to make sure that your answers are correctly marked, and then give yourself a score upon 8. Okay. Now, at this point, you would have received all the marks you need to total up for your booklet A. And I'm going to stop this first part of the video here. After you finish totaling up your booklet A, please give yourself a score, right? Right on top here at the beginning of the paper. Okay, let's go back to the beginning of the paper here. And I'm just going to write here, booklet A, I'm drawing an arrow here, 28 out of 28. Okay, so this is my score for booklet A, right? Please do so, all right? And then view the next video when I will review booklet B. Now, I have taken about 20 minutes to both annotate as well as review as well as teach the questions for this section, round about 20 minutes, right? So I hope that you can finish section A, booklet A, in about 20 to 30 minutes as well, all right? All right, thank you for paying attention and stay tuned for the next video.